And here we are on Whiterun. And obviously Steak is... What's he carrying that's so heavy? Is he carrying some stuff he could sell to the smith over here? Let's just quickly check that. There's Blood Scythe and Soul Render. Oh yeah! And the ancient Nordic pickaxe. It doesn't really need that anymore because he's not gonna... he only needs that on Soul's time. And then some staves and stuff. His weaponry. Don't really know what's weighing him down so badly. Oh, well, this obviously weighs a little bit. Yeah. Maybe all the gold he's carrying is weighing him down a bit. So it's time to get back into Breeze home. Snippers goes home to Breeze home, where his home really is, where he has his wife. It's almost level 60, as you can see. Really, really close to level 60.
Strange house. Strong. Solid. I think I'll open a store. A task to tend to whenever you're away.
Snickers thought you opened the store.
It's pleasing to see you again.
Thank you. Snickers thought you opened the store a long time ago. Has it made any money in Snickers' absence?
Fortune smiles on us. Here's your share, love.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Thank you. Now, Snickers has some really good news. Snickers has...
Conquer your enemies, my love.
Snickers has! And he's got almost 200,000 gold. How about that? Let's see, there's Lydia over here as well. Yeah, she's at the alchemy table actually for once. Huh. Maybe Snickers picked up some strange ingredients or something that he should stash. Yeah, the ectoplasm mainly. Hi, Lydia.
I am your sword and your shield.
Thank you, Snickers.
Farewell.
Could use a sword and a shield, just not right now. He's content to have his sword and his shield protecting his wife, actually. He's gonna... Oops, let's see, what time of day is it? It's morning, actually. He's gonna run upstairs and... because he's got a good deal of his... good weaponry stored in here, doesn't he? Yep. So that'll be a good place for the weapons of Hackneyed Deathbrand, the Soul Render and Blood Scythe. I mean, they are really nice that they have some nice enchantments when you double wield. Blood Scythe absorbs health and weakens armor, and the other thing absorbs magicka and can weaken magical defenses. The only thing I have, that is potentially, you could use it against both magic users and tough melee enemies. I guess the only problem with it is that it only works when you're dual wielding, so you are attacking both magic and health at the same time, and that's, ideally you'd focus on one of the two. I think if you're dealing with some really, really tough mage, you probably want to focus on getting rid of the magicka first, and if you're dealing with a really tough armored fighter, you don't want to have your left hand wielding some sort of magicka absorption thing, do you? Anyway, what the heck? Oh, right. Snickers had no idea he'd picked up this banded iron armor. That's what's weighing him down so much. That was really stupid going into the fight carrying that. No wonder he couldn't just draw his bow and go into combat with all his fortify archery enchantments. He really needed his enchantments that fortify his carrying capacity. Like for example, they're mostly Snickers enchanted some stuff and called it Hall Magic something. Yep. Because it helps his magicka, which is always nice because he's an archmage and likes to cast spells and well, not destruction spells though, but all sorts of other stuff. And he's it's always nice to be able to carry some more stuff, especially for someone like Snake. He's just he's likes to take things. Hi Lydia. Hi there. Snickers is actually going down. It seems we have a traffic jam in Snickers' house. Oh.
I am your sword and your shield.
There we go. Right, so. Oh, God, you don't have to.
Pleasing to see you again.
Thank you. You don't have to get up just because Snickers was coming, you know? Ah, alright, fair enough. You switched chairs. And Snickers.
Speak. You can ask anything of me, love.
Well, have you ever heard of the first Dragonborn, Gorza? Or of
Speak.
Hakner?
You can ask anything of me, love.
Perhaps you've heard of Hakner Deathbrand? No? Then Snickers will tell you about it. That's where we're gonna leave Snickers. Except for one little thing.
Speak. You can ask anything of me, love.
He's not gonna start sitting down talking to his wife with that dragon mask on. He can do fairly well with this stuff, I think. This is his that's this Curious of the Savior's hide actually. And they can actually talk to each other now, and Snickers can tell Gorza about everything that's happened to him lately. And Gorza can talk about what's been happening in Whiterun and so on. And yeah, and I can for a minute just stop and say thank you to everyone who's been following this series. Well, anyone who's kind of watched any of it really, because it was kind of intended as a sort of a little bit of a, I upload a little bit every here and there just to show what I'm doing. So but I guess this Dragonborn series has been more of a consecutive series of things than my original Skyrim series was. You can see, people asked me a while ago Snickers' stats and stuff. He's now 2 levels higher than he was then. I'll go through him very quickly. He's an enchanter, a decent smith, but I haven't grinded that up to the very end there. He's lately been using a lot of heavy armor just to try and increase some skills that he doesn't know so well, so he can level up. But really, he's a light armor specialist. He's an archer. Again, doesn't level from that lately, so he's been practicing one-handed. Also on the idea that it'd be useful to be able to fight close up as well. Though still, even at 86 with no perks, I think he fights better even close up with a bow than with his one-handed weapons. Oh well. He's a sneak, obviously, and handy at lockpicking, decent at pickpocketing, quite good at talking. He's not an alchemist. He's certainly an illusionist, and he's been practicing a lot of conjuration lately. And yeah, he can heal. That's about it. Not going to go through all his items. I think the items he had on that level 57 thing was more or less the same he has now.
You can ask anything of me, love.
Except for the Death Brand stuff, which really isn't his. Well, which you've seen in this video anyway. So yeah, thanks for the company. I've enjoyed this immensely. I think this is It's time for a save. And I hope also shown you one or two nice little mods. I'm going to take a little bit of a... I think, yeah, this Let's Play is obviously at an end. Whether I'll ever take up Sneakers again, I'm not sure. I mean, I've ended Sneakers' Let's Plays once before and then decided I had to pick it up again. Now that it's kind of different now. Bethesda have announced they're never gonna release more DLCs for Skyrim, but there are still some nice mods out there, so there's a little opening there. But right now I think we've followed Sneakers' story to a fairly logical conclusion, and all that remains for me to say essentially is thanks for the company. Special thanks to everyone who left a comment, and I might just, even if I don't I might just show off, have a video or two, show off a mod or two for Skyrim at some later point. But you know, until then, this is the end of the Let's Play. I don't know how you feel about it. Certainly Sneakers is happy about what's done. Like I said at the very beginning, he really feels he's done good on Solstheim. He's changed that island for the better. And as far personally, I kind of started this more or less because people asked me what I think of Dragonborn. I've said many times I've really liked Dragonborn. Now that I'm kind of done with it, it's maybe time to sum up a little bit there. I think what was sort of my favourite parts. I think the favourite thing about the whole Dragonborn DLC for me was that it really seemed like a DLC aimed at the old timers, the people who had played Morrowind before. You know, we went back to Solstheim, which was the setting for the Blood Moon expansion for Morrowind, and saw that island, but slightly changed not just updated graphics. Things had happened, and it was on the whole very enjoyable just to have that feeling of a little bit of Morrowind nostalgia, and at the same time you're exploring and seeing what's happened later to the place. And I think it was very well put together, a lot of it. Like I commented on all the NPCs and Raven Rock and stuff before. I think also it looked really nice. A lot of it played pretty well. Feel like exploring. Obviously, I like the main quest as well, but everybody knows the dragon riding is terribly awkward and no fun at all. So, and I suppose there was a little bit more potential perhaps for the first Dragonborn, but I enjoyed it. But nevertheless, the main quest was maybe not the most enjoyable thing. I think for me, the most enjoyable things, certainly the Fox Carriers quest, there was suddenly also a little bit annoying, but at the same time rewarding to meet Fox Carriers again, but as an adversary and undead and stuff. It was kind of sad to have to fight him, actually. That's maybe one of the reasons why I don't feel at all bad about killing off that Necromancer and Eldari person, even though it was really Master Neloth that was to blame. Which brings me to another high point. I've said this before, but Master Neloth, he's quite possibly the best character, I think, in Skyrim, with the most personality without becoming too just ludicrous or downright annoying like Cicero, for example. Because I have played the Dark Brotherhood quest, just not with Sneakers, because he's not a murderer. If you haven't, you don't know what I'm talking about, then never don't bother, don't worry. Doesn't really matter. I'm just saying that Master Neloth was a character with a personality that I enjoyed working for. I think this Let's Play would not have continued into as many episodes as it had, unless if it hadn't been for the fact that I really sort of enjoyed interacting with him. I can't say I liked him. He's a bastard, really, but completely self-absorbed. But a character. In that sense, though, he's like, like he's a real character. Like somebody funny and a caricature, obviously, of a Telvanni wizard, but at the same time, that works in a game because it doesn't have that much depth, obviously, but as a comic, a character you meet, you do some quests for and stuff. You don't. That's often what you're looking for, and what I'm looking for anyway. Some laughs, some sort of laughing at his personality rather than some really deep. I mean, you don't follow him for so long that there's really room for a lot of character development, and so on. The quest lines would have needed to be very much longer and more united for that. And instead, what Bethesda always do is they have all these different kinds of quests, and since there are so many of them, they can't be that long. Some people have talked about how quests were longer in previous games, and there's maybe a point to that, but at the same time, I think I looked at my save game, and I think Snakers has about 300 hours of game time now. Granted, some of that is like boring stuff, like obviously selling stuff, buying stuff, mostly selling stuff, and a little bit of smithing and crafting and stuff like that. Inventory management. Certainly, this game, I've said before that they even with, it's a little bit clunky on the controls, obviously, and Dragonborn was even worse that way with the with the silly dragon riding. But I mean, it's not clunky as much as that it's just slow to pick things and stuff, and that's why what you have mods for. Even though they don't work perfectly, of course. But yeah, I think some of my favourite moments were that Fax Carrier's questline. Certainly also I think meeting the Skull again was also a lot of fun. And oh yeah, obviously Apocrypha itself is also the full of books and stuff. That's sort of typical for the old time gamers, the people who care about the lore and actually want to read and stuff. You've got this whole area jam packed with all the books that Bethesda wrote. I think that's a really, really good idea. I think Hermaeus Mora is also a sort of character here that he's just so creepy and crawly. He's just brilliant. So I think Neloth and Hermaeus Mora are the best characters, and those are kind of some of my best moments. I don't know what your best moments are. Feel free to post a comment saying what you liked, or I suppose what you hated about this Let's Play. I could always learn from my mistakes, I suppose. I know I do a lot of them all the time. like you make a mistake, you don't do a mistake, but that's just life, I suppose. Anyway, as I was saying, basically, thanks for watching, and I hope, as always, I hope you've enjoyed watching whatever you have watched, half as much as I've enjoyed making it. If you have, then mission complete, and I'm happy with my work here. If you have. And if you haven't, I suppose you've long since gone off to greener pastures. I think that's it. I'm not gonna... I've thanked everyone, basically, so I'm not gonna give special thanks to anyone now. Just, you know who you are, the people who've posted comments and liked or disliked or sent me PMs or just for whatever reason subscribed, obviously. I'm not gonna give any shout outs or anything. I'm just gonna say thanks for the company, and like I said, there might be the occasional mod video on Skyrim. We don't know. But I don't think I'm going to completely give up on Let's Playing, so there's going to be other stuff on my channel. No doubt. But until then, as always, go in peace and live and let live.
Speak. You can ask anything of me, love.